What is up on the court in the booth podcast listeners? It is episode 13, right? 13, I
13.
think.
Yep.
13,
13. Yep.
14, something like that. We're in the teens now, but we're up there, and we got a awesome, and I do mean awesome show for you today. Game one of the NBA Finals. We're gonna break that down. We've got Backrooms. If you've ever heard of the Backrooms and know what that is, if you don't know what that is, we're gonna explain that to you. You're gonna want to stick around for that. That is a really wild, creepy, crazy, scary. I got like 1,000 different words I could think of. Theory. We're gonna break that down as well. We're gonna talk about summer. When does it officially start? And then there's a new debate. The doors and wheels debate is over. People need something else to argue about. There isn't a presidential debate, or there isn't a presidential um why am I blanking here? There isn't a
Yeah, election or
An
debate or yeah.
election. Oh my gosh, there isn't an election this year. So people need something else to argue about. So we've got the newest debate now. So we've got all that and a ton more here on the Court in the Booth podcast. Trey, you ready to get started, buddy?
Yep. Yep.
All right. Now that I've stuttered my way through the intro and am ready to go to the intro music. When we come back, we got game one breakdown. We will see you after the break.
Yep.
Welcome back, and game one of the NBA Finals last night. So we're posting, yes, so we're posting this today, so that is correct. Game one of the NBA Finals last night between the Boston Celtics and the Golden State Warriors, which I would like to say on this show, at the beginning of the playoffs, you can run it back and check the clip. I've got to give Trey credit here.
Do we
He
have that clip?
called. I will find it. And we will
Yeah,
bring it
you'll
into
see
the
the
next
clip.
episode. I do not have it at this second. I will find the clip and we will run it back. Trey called this, called the Celtics going all the way through here. A lot of people had them losing in the first round to the Nets. A bunch more people had them losing in the second round to the Bucks. And then even more people had them losing in the Eastern Conference Finals to the Heat. And now here they are still kicking against the Warriors. But our predictions are not over there. Roll it back even farther to the beginning of the On the Court in the Booth podcast era. And when the NBA season started, we were talking about sleeper teams, dark horse teams, and all this. And me and Trey both said some probably 5 months ago, 6 months ago, that the Golden State Warriors were a sleeper dark horse team to make the NBA Finals.
Yep.
I'm just saying. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't have a magic hat to predict things. We don't have some crystal ball over here that me and Trey are rubbing our hands on or
I do.
anything.
Why it doesn't? I do.
I
But
don't. I didn't. You have one?
yeah. Yeah.
Can we see it?
No. No, it's secret. Yeah. Yeah. If I show you, I have to
Well,
kill you.
right. If I showed you, I have to kill you. So yeah, pretty much game one of the NBA Finals last night. The Boston Celtics have this monstrous comeback while on the road playing in Golden State, and they end up taking game one. And Trey, I just wanted to let you go first. Your thoughts, the breakdown of the game, sir.
Yeah. No, it's 7:30 in the morning in beautiful nowhere, Indiana. Um, but it's so hard for me not to say I told you so. Like so difficult to so many people. Um, but no, I think like you said, both teams are really good. And it was interesting because I actually saw something the other day that said Vegas has um Golden State winning, like heavy favorites of the series. But all of the analytics say that Boston is winning. So, like, usually those two aren't conflicting as much as they are this series. But I think with Golden State's experience, people just expect them I don't know, to be better. But like I said,
Sure.
I'm much more of an analytics type of guy, much more of like stats and facts and those kind of things. So um, obviously, I have Boston winning. I said Boston was going to win in 6, and you kind of saw everything. Of course, Stephen Curry, 21 points in the first quarter, kind of went off, but in the second quarter, I think he had 0. And besides him, I don't know if anybody else had a really good game for Golden State.
Andrew Wiggins had like 24,
Did
25 or something like that.
Andrew Wiggins play pretty good?
Something
Yeah.
like that. But that was
So
not anything crazy. It was like you said, it was really just Curry.
yeah, Andrew Wiggins. I always forget about Andrew Wiggins. Like he's a really good player, really good
Andrew
defender.
Wiggins forgets about Andrew Wiggins.
But he, huh?
I'm
Oh
just
yeah,
kidding. I'm totally
everybody
just
forgets about
joking.
Andrew.
I'm totally just joking.
Um, but yeah, and then Boston kind of, obviously their defense is really good. But they have a lot of scores. They have a lot of different options on offense, and I think that's one of the things that Boston has to their advantage is just the just sheer total of players who can do different things on their team. I think um, one stat said everybody on their starting 5 had like a vote for like defensive player of the year. I think something like that. And so like when you have that, again on that side of the ball, you're gonna be great. But also the sets that they run and players that they have offensively, it's just anybody can go off at any moment, and that's like hard to guard. Like in my opinion, it's a lot easier to guard like Dallas when like Luka is going, like exactly what you're gonna get. Like that was
Right.
what people were saying were about Houston a couple years ago, was that like James Harden's gonna score a lot. And so you have to figure out ways to stop that. And that's why, people saying the playoffs, they weren't as successful because you have so much time to prepare for them. But, not saying it's a bad strategy because at the end of the day, you still have to stop them. But I think the fact that the Celtics have so many different weapons that it is really difficult to contain all of them.
Yeah, absolutely. I think some of the things that stand out to me whenever I looked at the box score last night, you look at the points, and this was something you mentioned. Steph Curry finished with 34 points last night. And when the third quarter ended, I thought that we were going to get on this show today and be like, Steph Curry is the best basketball player in the NBA. That's what I thought I was going to lead into this show with and talk about. And I still don't necessarily doubt that. I still think he's a top 3, arguably top 1 player. But
Top one.
when you look at the rest of did you say no?
Yeah, top one. Top one.
Top 1?
Yeah.
That's
I
where I
think he's
got him
top
to. I got
5.
him.
I'll put him top 5. But
You
he
got him
may be
top 5?
top 3.
Okay. Oh God, he's so polarizing for me. But when I look at the other box score, then the second biggest score here is Andrew Wiggins with 20 points. After that, you've got Clay with 15. Then after that, you've got Otto Porter with 12. For this Warriors team to continue to function like it has been in the playoffs and continue moving the way it has this season, Jordan Poole cannot have 9 points, 2 assists, and 2 rebounds. And Klay Thompson cannot have 15, 2, and 3. That's just this team is not gonna beat the Celtics. When you look at the Celtics, their best player, who is Jayson Tatum, finished with 12 points last night. And while you look at that and you're like, wow, like they must have really canned the Celtics. Well, no, they didn't, because Al Horford had 26. Jaylen Brown had 24 when he just decided to take off mid-game. Derek White, who I'm going to say 90% of casual NBA fans did not know who he was as of 3 weeks ago. Casual NBA fans did not know who Derek White was. 21 points. You got Marcus Smart coming in with 18. So there's 4 players right there, 5 players right there that all have double digits. And then you've got Robert Williams, who had 8, and he's just a paint beast. He's just going to sit there and rim protect for you. So when you've got six guys here that I'm looking at, Jayson Tatum, Al Horford, Robert Williams, Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, and Derek White, when you've got all 6 of those guys playing up to that caliber, you're not going to win games if Klay Thompson's only got 15, if Jordan Poole's only got 9. It's just not going to happen. If there's that many guys scoring that many points and playing that well, it's going to be hard to do. And like I said, when the third quarter ended, I really thought we were going to get on this podcast and be like, oh, the Warriors blew them out. I did not expect the first off flip around that we had, and then the fact that the Celtics, while on the road, were able to not only flip the script, bring it back. Not only did they do that, but end up winning it by 12 points, in
Yeah.
barring a late three-pointer that was a crazy shot that ended up going in, would have been a 15-point game.
Yeah. Like the
Barring
Celtics were
that.
up by 17 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
That's what I'm saying.
like,
Like, it's just, that's crazy.
yeah, yeah,
And for them
yeah,
to be able to do that at Golden State against Steph Curry, like, and they had, it's not like, in recent times where the Golden State Warriors have been injured and hurt and they didn't have, one of their big three or two of their big three. They had Draymond in facilitating the offense and running it very well. They had Steph Curry in and on fire for a lot of the game. They had Klay Thompson in and he's healthy and starting to look like himself again. They had Jordan Poole in, and Jordan Poole's been on a hot streak here recently. So it was just, I don't know, it was just odd for me to see that fourth quarter. It's just not, it wasn't Warriors Dubs-esque. You know what I mean? It just wasn't,
yeah,
it wasn't
yeah.
what I've seen in recent,
Well,
finals history of Warriors fourth quarters, especially not in game one at, what used to be Oracle is now the Chase Center, I believe.
yeah,
It's not, it was just weird for me. It was like a fever dream, like almost an out of body experience.
yeah,
I did not expect that at all. When the third quarter ended, I thought there's not a doubt in my mind that the Warriors are going to end up winning this game by 15, 20 points. Like, I just really thought, like, okay, here we go. This is where the gas pedal gets pushed down. Jayson Tatum only had like 10 points at that time. And, I just found it to be just crazy that the Celtics' best player, Jayson Tatum, that he could play 42 minutes and only have 12 points, and the Celtics still won. They
yeah,
had 40 points in the fourth quarter. Golden State only had 16.
yeah,
I mean, it was a demolishing fourth quarter. It was not even close. And I don't know what it was. Like, Steve Kerr was out there coaching, and he is one of the best coaches in the NBA. They've got one of the best rosters in the NBA on Golden State. I was just stunned. I really was. I was just questioning my reality for a little bit.
yeah.
Whenever the
W-
Celtics just decided to flip that
Yeah.
switch and bring it
No,
all the way back.
I agree with you, and I agree with your take. I think that the Jason Tatum, like, he's gonna have a better game, but I think sometimes that can be a little bit overrated. As far as, like, he didn't score well. What's gonna happen when he scores? Well, the thing is, people don't realize that, like sometimes when a star player is, say a star player gets hurt, you don't lose those points. Like, star player gets hurt and they average 25 a game. You don't lose 25 points. You find it in another way. And so, like, and even if the players aren't as efficient, you're kind of just taking another avenue to score. And so, because Tatum, he wasn't having his best game, they just relied on other people to, score and step up. Like,
Dude,
and so that's a strength of Boston. But I think people are, what's going to happen when Jason Tatum has a great game, and it's like, you know, the other people aren't going to score as much. You know what I mean? And so,
absolutely, yeah.
and so,
Absolutely.
like,
Al
you do have to
Horford's not
take
going to
that
have 26
and
every game.
right, exactly. You do have to take that into account, but at the same time, it's not like you had somebody. I mean, Derek White, he had a great Heat series, but I think the series before that, they were leaving him wide open. Like, I think I'm getting that right. I forget what one of the things, but I
The
think he was
Bucks
going through
series,
like a bad shooting slump or something. Don't
I think he did have.
I may be
I
wrong
think I
about
remember. I
that,
think I know what you're talking about. In
but
the Bucks series, he kind of had a little rough patch.
yeah, and so yeah, well, it was a Buck series, and so you know, I don't think that. But again, he played well in the Heat series too. So, like, you just never know, and that's the thing that I think with the modern NBA and how the number of threes that are being shot. People are complaining about the blowouts, but that's just until they do something about the 3-point line. It's just way overpowered right now, in my opinion.
What do you think they should do?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it's just you say move it back, but people are shooting from farther, and that's just going to give more spacing. So I don't know if moving it back is going
Steph
to.
Curry's still going to walk across half court
Yeah,
line and
yeah.
pull it up
Like
and
Steph
get
Curry's
it.
still
Like,
going to
it's
shoot that, and
still going
people
to
are
happen. Like,
shooting. Yeah, people are shooting from farther away, so people are just going to get it, used to it. And you're going to have more spacing on the court. So I don't know what the answer is. I just know that like in any given night, like people are complaining about blowouts. Well, that's just what it is. Like when both teams shoots a lot of threes, like and one team, hits more than the other team, it's going to be a blowout. That's just what it is. But at the same time, you can see like the Boston and the Warriors, like game one, like no team is ever out of it either. Like you said, like I was looking at it, I'm like Golden State's up, they're up double digits going to what, the fourth, and you're like, oh,
there's
it's Golden
12
State. They're
points. Isn't
huh?
that
Yeah,
crazy?
exactly. And so, they haven't lost a home game all playoffs. You're like, oh, it's easy win. Okay, move on to game
18 and
two.
0, something like that.
And like I said, they're down 17 in the fourth quarter. Like, what's going on? But it's just because, like you said, defense, and then the analytics involved with shooting the three and how well they were shooting the three at that time. So, no, it was definitely an interesting game. And we'll see if my prediction comes true. Celtics in 6. So
Right. We're gonna head to the meditation minute here in a second, but before we head there, I want to ask you real quick. We got to find the stats for this. There has to be a stat somewhere. How many games has there ever been? How many finals games has there ever been where a player shot 3 for 17 or worse? The star player of a team shot 3 for 17 or worse, and their team still won. Do you think that's ever happened before?
I actually do, yeah. I
You
wouldn't be
think so?
surprised if that. Yeah, I don't think that's. I don't think that's.
I know you're not a big guy on looking into stuff like that, but I find that wild. When I looked at the stat line last night and I saw that he hit 3 out of 17 shots and they still won, I was like just
Yeah,
dumbfounded. I
I
didn't even
think.
realize that he had missed that many.
I think. I'm trying to think. I mean, I don't know. I mean, is it rare? Probably, but I mean, teams are focusing so much on him, so it's like,
It's true.
and you have good players around him, so it's
Absolutely.
like, I'm thinking maybe like Dwayne Wade and Shaq. Like maybe Shaq had a pretty bad game, and they still won.
Yeah.
Um, but I don't know. I mean, like I said, I don't know the exact stats, but I would be surprised if it's that rare, to be honest with you. But you never know. So
Absolutely. Well, all right. Well, we are going to head to the meditation minute here real quick. And then when we come back, we have got a theory that we came across online, and it is called the Backrooms Theory. And we're going to talk about that. After that, we're going to talk about summer. And then, like we were talking about earlier, there's a new debate now, and we are going to hash it out right here. The doors and wheels debate is over. There's a new one. So we are going to hash all that out when we come back. And yeah, meditation minute. We'll be right back. All right, meditation minute. We are back, and there is a wild theory that came across my TikTok late at night. If that is not where I find the most wild stuff in the universe is on TikTok at 2 o'clock in the morning and later. That is where everything that's weird happens. Is TikTok at 2 o'clock in the morning. So as I'm sitting there and I'm swiping through, I come across this theory, and it's called the Backrooms Theory. And for those of you who have never heard of it, the Backrooms is basically a God. How would you explain it? It's basically a separate reality in time and space, and it has nothing to do with us. But basically, it has to do with people who, I guess, they glitch out of reality or something, and they go into these things called the back rooms, and it's basically levels where I don't know, how would you explain it? I feel like I'm explaining it terribly. How
Well,
would you
I
explain the back rooms?
I don't know probably as much as you do about it. But it's kind of interesting that we talked about simulation theory um earlier on. It's kind of the same concept as far as like you said, glitching out of our reality and stepping into what you call back room, the back rooms. And it's like I forget exactly how they describe it, but it's like wet carpet and like
Right, yeah, they got like
um
so level 1 is apparently a you fall into this room, and it's wet and like mildewy smelling carpet, and it's in this
like
like
yellow
yellow
walls,
room. Yes, yeah,
yellow
like yellow
walls and
walls,
yeah.
and it's basically an endless maze of doors, and they're not doors and like walls and stuff like that. And it's
Yeah.
like almost like a convention center full of like a maze of walls, and there's like other creatures that are in there with you and stuff like that. And it's like I don't know. Like I said, I feel like I'm doing a terrible job of explaining it. But if
I
you've
mean, that's
never
about
heard of it,
that's about the extent that I know. I know that it started like all great horror theories on creepypasta. I know
creepy
that's like
pasta.
yeah. Have you heard about that?
I've never heard of them. I need
I
to
think
check
it's
that
like a
out.
Reddit thread or something, and it's like we're all like the horror
Everything starts
stories.
on Reddit.
Yeah,
Everything
this
weird
is where
like
all the
that
like
starts
horror
there.
stories and that kind of thing. I think Slenderman started on that. I think I'm trying to think of another one. I don't know. I'm not that involved with it, but
Right.
um, I think that's where a lot of like the kind of spooky like scary stories start from. But yeah, I mean, like I
Right.
said, I don't know that much about it, but I think the concept is interesting because, like you said, it's an endless maze. Um, but then people have their own ways of trying to get out of it. So,
Right. And like apparently
what's
you
the first thing that you do when you find yourself in this maze?
do you know the answer? Or are you like asking
I
me?
know. I'm saying what I would do, but I'm asking you what I mean.
What's the first thing I would do? I don't know. They said like isn't there something like isn't there like an exit door or something like that? You gotta find it.
Oh, I
I
don't
mean,
know what you're.
obviously the first thing I'm doing is I'm getting up and moving. I'm like
Oh
I'm not
yeah,
I'm
no kidding.
I'm
What's your
not
first
staying where I'm
strategy?
at.
Well, okay, what is your first strategy to get out of this place?
First strategy is I'm gonna start moving around and try and find any kind of exit I can. If
Okay,
not, I'm gonna attempt to, you know, I guess I would attempt to hit the walls and see if I can go through the wall and try and hit the ceiling, see if I can go through that, or try and pick
it's
up the
not bad.
carpet
Yeah,
on the floor, try
yeah.
and get out of that. There's got to be somewhat there is a way out, but I don't remember what it is. So there's got
Me
to be
either.
some way out. They say there's like an exit door, right? You just got to find the door.
I guess. Again, I'm not too positive in it. I just know if I know it is a maze, um, the first thing that I'm doing is well, I'm doing two things. First off, I'm trying to find like I don't know, like if I have clothes on, I'm like taking my sweatshirt off and like putting it where I started. And so like if it moves, then you know something. And then I'm putting my right hand, I guess it doesn't matter right or left hand, put my right hand on the wall and just walking. Because then you know like where you've been. You know what I mean? Like if you put your right hand on the wall, if it's a maze and you put your right hand on the wall and you can get out, like, say it's a typical maze and there's an actual exit, you should be able to find your way out, no matter how long it takes. Does that
If
make
you just
sense
put
or
your
no?
right hand on the wall and just continue to walk
Yeah, just keep walking.
along,
Because
and eventually,
eventually you'll get. It's when you get lost that's the problem. Because then you don't know where you're at. But if you put your right hand on the wall, you're gonna eventually find the exit.
I never thought about that. If you just
Yeah,
touch your right hand to the wall and walk, eventually you'll have to.
you'll have to because you'll never be in a place that you haven't been before. And if you reach back to your sweatshirt, you know there's no exit.
Then you know if you need to try and go through the wall or through the
Yeah,
ceiling or through the floor or something. Yeah.
yeah. And so
Yeah.
there's, I mean, so there is that. So if there's like just a space where you can leave, but I don't know. Like again, I don't know the extent as far as like if you glitch into a new reality, you don't know if the maze changes or something like that.
Can you
So
imagine
like,
if it changes?
dude,
Like every
changes that
10
sucks.
minutes it shifts around.
It shifts around. Yeah, yeah. That
Ugh,
at that
no
point, like
thanks.
I don't know. That just sucks.
At that point, I'm screwed.
No, yeah,
at,
for sure,
at
for
that
sure.
point, I'm calling it quits.
Yeah. But
but
like you had to get there somehow. So like the first thing you're doing is like you said, I'm figuring out like how could I possibly get in this situation? Is it from the roof? Is
right,
it from the
however I got
wall?
in
Like
this, I'm gonna try and reverse that and get out
reverse
of
that. Yeah,
this.
that is the first thing you do for sure.
Right.
So
So pretty much, yeah, that's the back room. So if you haven't heard of it, it's worth a read, watch, listen, whatever. Just go to YouTube where everybody hears about everything. Just go to YouTube and look up Backrooms Explained, and there's like hundreds of levels to this and stuff like that. And like people claim that they've been there, and I don't know. Do you believe in it?
no.
I
I
don't
mean,
either.
no,
I don't believe
no,
I don't
no.
believe in it either,
Personally,
but
I don't believe in it, but I don't really have a reason to believe in it.
that's a good point.
So, I
Um,
mean,
but yeah, I mean, if you want to learn more, go to YouTube or something and check out the Backrooms Theory and divulge in it a little bit. It's a very interesting topic. So, a little creepy though. So I don't know. Should we say viewer discretion advised? I guess it is creepy. Freaks me out.
yeah, I mean,
I don't know what I
it's
would do
not.
if I was in that situation, dude. That would scare me
I don't
so
think
bad.
I don't think it's the creepiest thing you could find on like
You think so?
creepypasta or like one of the scary stories. I
Oh
mean,
yeah, I'm sure. Oh, I'm
what
sure
is
there's creepier stuff.
what part is creepy about it?
Just like the creatures that are in there and stuff. You heard like the black glitching like orb thing that like chases you at times and stuff like that. And
Yeah, but it's like whatever. Like no, I would definitely
it's
be
just
scared.
whatever. It's just whatever. This thing that
Yeah,
this creature
yeah,
is
yeah.
just this this
Like I would be
creature's
scared,
chasing you,
but
trying to kill you. It's whatever.
I would be scared, but it's not like a ghost or like a large spider or something. Like, you know what I mean? Like it doesn't have any like a glitching orb. Like what is that? You know what I
I don't
mean?
know. I
Like
don't want to know though. I don't want to know what it is.
no,
I'm
that's what I'm
running
saying. If
from
I'm
that.
in the situation, of course it like it sucks to be in the situation, but like I just
So
don't
you're
think it's the worst possible.
right. So what are you doing if you see this thing running at you? Are you running or are you
How is it running? Does it
throwing
have
the gloves
legs?
and you want the smoke? What are we doing here?
Does it have
If
legs?
I think so, yeah,
Does it have eyes?
I think so.
Ooh. How many legs and how many eyes does it have?
I think like it looks kind of like a human kind of, but like a human dog kind of thing. When I saw
Yeah.
the video,
Okay. Yeah. I don't know.
what are you doing? Are you if you see it running at you, are you running or are you throwing hands?
I mean, I'm running. I don't even know what it looks like. How am I supposed to just stand there? I mean, what, it's a dog. Like, I mean, it
It
depends.
looks
Is it like a Chihuahua or is it like a
yeah. If it
like
was
it
a
just
chihuahua,
depends.
I would like kick the
Yeah,
thing,
like
just you go
like
flying
I'm gonna
across the
fight that,
room.
but
Right. Yeah, no. I don't know. On the video it portrayed it to be like I don't want to say like a werewolf, but it was almost like a werewolf. Like but
yeah, I'm
human
probably running.
sized.
I'm
Huh?
probably running. I'm probably running, but that's the other thing you have to worry about. Like my right hand is gonna be touching the wall if a werewolf's chasing after me.
Oh yeah. That's true. You can't run too far because then you get lost.
Yeah,
So
it's
inevitably, you'd
unfortunate.
probably have to stay and fight.
It's unfortunate. That's why you go slow. That's why you go slow. And then you got to
Slow and
worry about
steady wins the
food
race.
and other things. So
It's true. Slow and
at that
steady
point,
wins the race, though.
at that point, you're just dead.
It's true. So basically, that is the Backrooms. That is our discussion on the Backrooms. Like I said, if you want to find out more, just go to YouTube, Reddit, something like that. Read about it. Like I said, it's a very interesting read, but just be careful. It is creepy in my eyes. But next question here, Trey. When does summer officially start for you? Like when does your brain kind of click into summer mode?
Summer officially starts when um, I have no like things to do with no mandatory things that I have to do regarding basketball and school.
So you're
That's
in
when
summer
summer
right
officially
now.
starts.
You've been in summer for what, 3 weeks now?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. It's about the end for me. It's about the end for me.
Yeah.
But
When do you have to go back?
June 8th. I'll be back June 8th.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that. I thought you were staying through July and stuff.
No.
Oh, geez. Okay. Well, me and Nikki are hopefully coming up in July again. So we'll have to ride up to West Lafayette and see you again up there.
Oh, there you go.
We'll go up there and hang out and stuff. But beside the point, summer, I've always kind of had a theory that, like, obviously summer is a season. And obviously summer started, for me as a kid, it always started once school was over. That's whenever summer
Yeah.
starts. All it's summer break. For me, I feel like summer is like a feeling, and summer doesn't start until you get that feeling.
For
So you're
sure.
sitting around with your friends or you're sitting around with your family and it's warm outside and you got like a big smile on your face and you're just chilling. Like that's summer to me. You know what I mean? That's when I think summer starts for me is whenever you're doing that. And I don't know, has it started yet? It's so hot down here now that like it can't not be summer in Florida, dude. For the last like month, it's been 100 degrees down here every day. I mean, it is blistering hot down here. Then people are like, well, why did you move to Florida then?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just kidding. I absolutely love it down here. But dude, I've got a crazy story for you, but we will save that for the end too. But yeah, so basically that's when summer starts for me. So remind me when we get to the end of the show, I got a crazy story. So beside that, closing out here before we get to my story at the end, there is a new debate. There is not a presidential election or doors and wheels to argue about anymore. There is, people got to argue about something, right? There's always got to be two sides to everything, and everybody's got to argue about something. So the new thing that everybody's arguing about, and Trey, I'll ask you,
Yeah.
are there more eyes in the world or are there more legs?
I'm a firm believer in more eyes.
More eyes. What about centipedes, though?
Within the with okay. With the 30 minutes that I've thought about it before the show started. I still think there are more eyes.
What about centipedes, though?
Yeah, what about centipedes? Okay. Like, do you want me to give centipedes a high five or something? Like,
Right, exactly.
like
I don't know.
I don't
Oh, dude, I find it tough because it's like
I
there are
don't find it
so
tough at
many,
all. I don't even care what
huh?
you say here. I don't even care what you say here. I'm not even listening to your ideas or opinions.
Right.
That's how much they
I,
don't matter to me.
exactly.
It's like the
That's
it's like the it's like the Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial. Like
Oh,
I
I
don't care.
totally forgot. I
Yeah.
totally
I just stole
forgot.
your joke. I
Oh my
stole your
god.
joke.
I
How does
had this
that feel?
killer joke that I was going to throw in this. Killer,
Yes.
guys. It was killer.
Yes.
I totally
Yes.
forgot to throw that in there.
Yeah.
Gosh, I'm so mad now. I had a
Yeah. It's
killer
funny.
joke for that. God, I forgot to throw that in there. Jeez.
Yeah.
But anyways, I feel like everything on it's almost like I'll compare it to the doors and wheels debate. And the reason why I chose wheels was because everything that has doors and wheels has at least two doors, but it always has at least two wheels or more wheels. So, for example, everything on Earth, I feel like, has 2 eyes and at least 2 legs. But there
No.
are more 2-eyed
That's
things
not true at all.
than
That's not
4-legged
true at
things.
all.
Because think about it. Like, think about
Every
like a deer or a horse or a cow. They have
yeah,
2 eyes and
but
4 legs.
that's all land animals, Wyatt. Think about
What?
animals that aren't on the land. All the fish,
Oh, yeah, there's a
all of
lot
the
of sea creatures.
there's a lot of sea creatures that don't have legs,
Oh,
but they have
man.
eyes though.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, eyes win. Never mind. I did not even
Such
think about
good.
the ocean.
Yeah,
I did not even think about the ocean.
yeah,
Not even a little bit. That escaped
yeah,
my mind 100%.
yeah.
You just
Definitely big
blew my
eyes get,
mind.
and then like even bees and gosh, do you see that voice crack?
I
I
heard
think
that.
I'm
I heard that. That
yeah.
was that
You
was
see
that was
that?
awesome.
Yeah.
That was
Oh
awesome.
yeah. Even bees and like mosquitoes, don't they have like 20 something eyes or something? Am I wrong
Yeah, I
about
thought
that?
like don't fly. Yeah, flies are like that too, don't they? Flies have like a ton of eyes or something like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
Tarantula.
spiders do too, don't they?
Yeah.
Spiders have
Tarantula.
8 legs, but like 100 eyes or something crazy like
Yeah,
that.
I don't think it's 100 eyes. I don't think they have 100 eyes. Oh my gosh.
Let me
Oh
look
my
this up. How
gosh.
many eyes does
Wow.
a spider have?
There's no way.
Oh Jesus. Oh
What is
Jesus.
it?
Never mind. Move on. Move on. Move
What
on.
is
Move on.
it?
Move on. Move on.
No.
8. 8
8.
eyes. That
Oh
is
yeah.
it.
8
I was
eyes.
off my
They
92.
they do not have 100 eyes. That is
92 eyes.
wow. Wow, that was great.
Yikes.
Um
Whoops.
but yeah, no, I just think that you take the sea critters
MC
from
critters.
them sea
Sea
critters.
creatures.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Uh,
I didn't even think about the ocean creatures. I really did not.
but
I
what
cannot even
about the
believe that either.
centipedes?
What about the
What
centipedes
about the
though?
centipedes?
God, that was great. That was good, wasn't it? Oh my
Wow.
lord.
Wow. That may be on our t-shirt. We're looking for merch ideas.
We are.
I wrote down some merch ideas. What
We
about the
gotta find a
centipedes?
way to.
Is that the quote of the day?
What about centipedes?
What about
You're gonna have to
centipedes?
type that in because I don't even know how to spell centipede. So that's
No, Grammarly, I don't need you to check my work here. What?
dude. Grammarly ticks me off so much whenever I'm typing and they're in the corner of my pop up in the corner of my screen. I'm like, no, I don't need you right now.
I don't need you right now. That is true. One of my classes requires it.
Really?
Yeah.
You'll like this. So the reason why I got it is because my program director, his name is Gus Ramsey, and he worked at ESPN for a long time with Dan Patrick, and I emailed him something the other day for a script or something, and he was like, gave me all this feedback on my script and everything, was telling me, give me advice and everything on what I should do, what I should change, and all that stuff. And at the end of it, he types in there, by the way, download Grammarly. It will help you with your punctuation mistakes and stuff. I'm like,
Gosh.
wow, you gotta just call me
Brutal.
out like that. Okay. Ouch.
Wow. Yeah.
Ouch. So yeah, he called me out, but it's okay. I appreciate it, Gus.
Is this it? What about centipedes?
What about centipedes? Throw it on there.
Yeah.
Throw her on there.
It's a new thing that Restream has, so we're gonna I guess we're gonna use that. Wow, that's pretty cool. I didn't even know it had that.
What is it?
Let's see how it's going across the screen.
Is it up for you right now? I don't see it at all.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
swear.
Oh. Huh. Yeah, it's up for me. Wow.
Is that up for you right now?
Yeah.
Okay, try it again.
Okay. I may just do it the old way. What about
I don't know why it wasn't working.
Okay.
That's weird.
My limbs. There we go.
What
now?
about Centipede? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, 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 yes.
I think that's how you spell centipedes.
I believe so. People, oh, you better be careful. People are gonna bang snap on that.
Did you spell centipede wrong?
You spelled centipedes
How could you
wrong.
possibly do that as a college
What about
student?
centipedes?
What about the centipede? Yeah.
What about centipedes?
That's right. That's right.
Oh my god.
Also, we'd like to be before we go. We actually have another. Obviously this is the on the court in the booth family that we have here, but we have another kind of like producer that we'd like to introduce. Wyatt, do you want to do the honors? Wyatt doesn't know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yes. Yes. How are we? No, I want to leave it to you. This was you called me with this idea. I can't steal the thunder here. This is your idea.
Okay. We have to figure out. I think he is going to be. We haven't figured out a title for him yet. It is Leroy. It is Leroy. We should just end the show there. Just right there, Leroy. End it.
Dude. We have got to find a way to incorporate him into this. There has to be some way that Leroy can be involved in this, and it'll be comedy gold. It'll be incredible.
Yeah,
just sheer perfection. Leroy being in this podcast.
We'll say that he is the editor. He's the editor of our videos.
He is the editor and executive producer of the On the Court in the Booth podcast.
Yes, exactly. Brought to you by Leroy. So all the other sponsors that are just dying to sponsor our videos, you guys can kick the can because Leroy is.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah. Brought to you by Leroy.
Leroy, what a guy, man! You called me the other day and we're like, if you could explain Leroy in a sentence, this is out of the blue too.
You know what he said?
Explain Leroy in a sentence, huh?
You know what he said?
What did you call him? What did he say?
Oh yeah. He said,
oh yeah.
I own a '79 Ranchero. That was his sentence. After he told me that he needed to figure out, I think that he was going to blow up his balloons with a shotgun. I think that was after he said that.
What?
It's like, Leroy, you don't need to shoot everything. Like,
what a guy, man. What a guy. You got to ride in the Ranchero. So for those of you who don't know, my little brother Leroy, he is like one of the most redneck human beings on earth. People actually question how we are related. And I don't know either. I love him to death, but I've told him this to his face. I have no clue how we are related. But we are. So there is that.
By blood only.
By blood only. No, but Leroy basically is like this ultra redneck guy, but he has he purchased a 1979 Ford Ranchero, and it is basically his child. And Trey, you got to ride in it. What did you think of the Ranchero?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty cool. I'm not a huge car guy. The only problem was half the time you got to stop and fill it up with oil. It's like, how much money are you spending on oil? I know it can't be cheap right now. Like gas and oil these days. This is not a political podcast, but we're just
not at all.
Digging deep. Yeah, not at all.
Exactly.
Not at all.
No, that's just factual though. Gas, barring all political, whatever your political agendas are, gas is expensive right now. I don't care if you're right or left wing or middle or slightly right, slightly left. Gas is expensive right now for everybody. For every single person on earth, gas is expensive right now.
Gas prices don't care what your political background is. They're just
not at all
high.
They're just high. High as Snoop. As high as Snoop Dogg. So that gas prices are as high as Snoop Dogg. So yeah, that's Leroy, and we're gonna find a way to incorporate him on the show too. Like, have Leroy on. And like I said, my idea that I've always had, my brother knows nothing about sports. I am this huge sports guy. I can sit down for my entire life. I've always been able to sit down and I could watch a college, water polo match. It doesn't matter what the sport is. If it's a sport, I can watch it and enjoy it. I
Yeah.
am that guy. And my brother is not into sports at all. Like I could
Mhm.
name him 3 or 4 mainstream athletes who people who don't even watch sports would know, and he would not know them. He didn't know who John Morant is.
Yeah.
No clue. And he didn't know who Jayson Tatum is, I bet, too. But basically, in a nutshell, Leroy knows nothing about sports. I want to have him on and just have him every week pick 5 games of his choosing in any sports. And like we'll have this guy get on here and like talk about Russian swimming meets. And we'll have him pick his 5 favorites in sports to win that week. And I've always thought that would be a wonderful Leroy segment because people who don't know about sports are always the ones who win those bracket challenges and stuff like that.
Mhm.
It's always the
Mhm.
people who know absolutely nothing about sports who
Mhm.
come through and predict all these crazy things that happen because they don't know. You know what I mean? They see a
Mhm.
name, they throw it in there. So I've always wanted to incorporate Leroy in one of my shows like that. And what better of an opportunity than this one? I just think that would be perfect. We gotta have Leroy do that. That would be great.
We
Or like maybe not every single episode, but once or twice a month, we just have him on and have him do Leroy's picks of the month. That's what we could
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
Leroy's
Doesn't
picks of the month.
is it First Take or ESPN do the Stephen A list? We would do
Yeah.
the
Oh
Leroy
my
picks or
god.
something like that.
Leroy's list.
Leroy's list. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Dude, what
Be like,
about
Leroy,
the
compose your list of the top 5 basketball players of all time and why.
yes and why? Um I was thinking honestly, just like a LeBron versus Leroy shirt. I know I sent you that
Oh
yesterday.
my god.
Dude, so great. So great.
Like look what you texted me last night, LeBron, and then the
Yeah.
greater than sign toward Leroy, and then it
Yeah.
says Leroy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Leroy,
It's
greater
like
than
it's like
LeBron.
yeah, LeBron, like Leonardo da Vinci, like Leroy.
Any
You
any
know what I mean?
Lees or
Any Lee
Les you can
names?
think of,
Yeah.
any LE are second place. It doesn't matter how incredible they are, what
Yeah.
they've accomplished. You could be the first basketball player to ever reach $1 billion in worth, which LeBron James just did, by the way.
Yeah.
Excuse me, while still playing in the league. You can be Leonardo da Vinci, one of the greatest artists of all time. You can be Leroy Jenkins. You can be anybody, but you cannot be the Leroy Williams. That guy is a one of one of a kind. He is number one.
Yeah. Yeah. Like you think your NFTs are special? Wow.
Oh my
This
God. Can you
guy.
imagine if we made a Leroy NFT?
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
my God. There's so
That may
so many
go.
$1 million ideas coming into this right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So many $1 million ideas
Wow.
coming into this right now. Well, Trey,
You said you
I
said
had
you
a
had a
story that I
story to
was
tell. Oh, yeah. There you go.
I did have a story to tell, but I have got class coming up. Actually, you know what? I got we'll throw it in real quick. I was gonna save it till next week, but we got time real quick. So basically, this last week we were in Indiana and we came back down to Florida, obviously, because I had class and stuff. I came up for my brother's graduation, and which was a lot of fun. We come back down, and my friend Bison flies down as well. And we were down in Florida. And this last weekend, it was Memorial Day weekend, and we're like, we're in Florida. It's Memorial Day weekend. We have to go to the beach. Like you can't not. If you live in Florida and it's Memorial Day weekend, it's inexcusable not to go to the beach. It's wrong. You're wrong if you do that.
Yeah.
So we decided we were going to go to the beach, which we did, and it was a great idea. We went to Tampa and stopped and ate at this place called Muchachas. It is a walking taco place, Trey, that's like Chipotle. They have like authentic Mexican food that they put in a walking taco. I swear to you, it was some of the best food I've ever had in my entire life. It was incredible. It was pricey, it was expensive, but it was incredible. It was some of the best Mexican food I've ever had in my entire life. But anyways, that's beside the point. So we go to Muchachas, eat. That was great. We then go to the beach, and we get there, and we park, and we're walking, and we cannot find a way to get into the beach. But we find this gate that leads to the beach, and we're all standing outside of it, and somebody lets us in. There's like a code and everything. They let us in. We go to Tampa. We're in Clearwater at this time, which is a little south of Tampa, and we're at the beach, and we had a great time. We swam out in the ocean. We even went to the Clearwater Aquarium. You know the movie Dolphin Tale?
Mm-hmm.
Remember Winter? That whole thing takes place at the Clearwater Aquarium, which Winter just passed away like a couple months ago. So Winter was not there, obviously. But so we went and checked that out. That was pretty cool. And then we go to the beach, and I'm not kidding you, one of the most incredible sunsets of my life. And this is where I should have known that everything was about ready to go haywire. Right then, when everything went too good.
I had somebody, I got my hair done yesterday. And so I had somebody, or my hairstylist said, oh, what did she say? She's like, have you ever had those days where like things are going so good that like there's a certain point where you just kind of lock yourself in your room because
it's
you're like,
coming.
Yeah, something bad's gonna happen.
Something's gotta be coming, right?
Yeah.
So this is one of those days, and I didn't see it. I was blind. I was a fool. I had no clue. So we watch what was, I'm not kidding you, Trey, like the most beautiful sunset I've ever seen in my entire life. This blood orange sky over the ocean, and it was incredible. And we were all sitting on the beach together. It was like something out of a movie. And we watched the sun just get smaller and smaller over the ocean and then disappear. And so we're hanging out there for a little bit longer, and then finally we leave. But what we didn't realize was to get into the beach, you had to have a code.
Ooh.
To get out of the beach, you had to have a code. So we were trapped in a private beach and yacht club 3 hours from home. And the sun was down. It was dark. So
the sunset was not, it was not as not as fun now.
Nope, no, it wasn't. So we walk out and we get up to the gate, and there's nobody there, and we don't know how to get out. We literally don't know how to get out. We cannot get out. And so we walk down the beach forever. It got to the point where we had been trapped for like 3 hours. And we get to this mansion, and we see that there's a side yard to the house. So we're like, oh my God, like we're going to have to try and sneak through their yard and get out. So we run up beside this massive mansion, and I'm literally telling a trespassing and breaking and entering story right now. So hopefully the police aren't watching. But anyway, I'm just kidding. So
police are definitely watching.
Everybody watches. So everybody watched on the Corner podcast. But so we get to the gate, and we are at the front of it, and there's still no way to get out. And my friend Bison notices in the corner that there is a tiny slit in the fence about this big between the fence and the gate. And we all had to go through it. And let me just tell you, Nikki, and you know Nikki struggled to get through it.
Wow.
So imagine this guy trying to squeeze through it. I was born a second time, Trey. It was like getting born again. I had two friends under me pushing me up and through this hole in the fence.
Wow.
I had two friends pushing me up and through the hole in this fence. I ripped my favorite shirt, which really just ticked me off. Finally, after 3 hours of being trapped, we had to literally crawl through their front bushes, down through these trees and stuff and everything, and this brush, and then eventually get to this little hole in the fence. All of us get out, and then we had to walk for another like half a mile to our car because we'd walked down so far. It was a disaster, to say the least. It was an absolute, complete disaster.
But now you can look back at it now. Now it's pretty cool.
Oh,
Now
now
it's
it's
pretty
great.
cool.
Now it's great.
Yeah.
Now when I
Yeah.
think back, I think of the sunset. That's what I think of.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
all of it was totally worth it because I got to see the sunset and the restaurant we went to was great. So it was all worth it. That's how I see it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But for about 3 hours, Trey, I really thought that I was going to get arrested for trespassing. There was a solid 3 hours where I was sweating. I was sweating a little
That's
bit.
funny.
I was sweating a
That's
little
funny.
bit.
So since we're already at 55 minutes, might as well go to an hour. I have a story. So we went canoeing for
Go.
Memorial Day.
Oh, yes, I want to hear about
And,
this. Let's go.
Yes, yeah. And so all the cousins were down, uncles were down. And so I have not had the best canoeing experiences. Like 2 years ago, I didn't go last year, but 2 years ago, it was my mom and I in a canoe, and Evan, one of my cousins, and my mom and I had been arguing the whole trip, and so just about small things. I see if you're a senior in high school, you know what I'm talking about. Just like the
Yeah.
small, just meaningless things, and
Sure.
just kind of growing up and all that stuff. And so anyway, so they put us on a canoe together, and we carry the canoes down, and keep in mind there's like there's a lot of people here, so there's about like 5 canoes filled with 2 to 3 people in each. So we go down, and normally we wait. So we do the takeoff, and then we wait for everybody else to put their canoe in. But the water was going so fast, and I believe I was in the back this time. My mom wanted to be in the back, and so I couldn't control it to where we go down. So already my mom's like, yeah, if I was there, and all that stuff. And so we go down the first set of rapids, and keep in mind this was 2 years ago, and nobody else is taking off. But the water's going so fast that we have to keep on going down. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
It's a
so
steady current.
and so we don't see the takeoff point anymore. And so eventually we turn the canoe around, and we're just paddling upstream. We're trying to, at least. And still nobody's there. It's been like 15 minutes. Like nobody's coming. And Evan, he ends up getting one of his fishing pole, like his line, stuck on this log, and his line ends up snapping, and so we're at like the lowest of the low point, right? And so we go downstream a little bit more, and then my mom's like, "Ooh, we gotta we gotta go back upstream because like where are these people?" And so we go upstream, and of course my mom's like, "Well, I guess your weights aren't helping because we're not going very fast." And so just gut punches and everything. And so we passed that log, and I'm like, Mom, like the log is like underwater now. And so, but she's like, I don't know what you're talking about, like this, that, and the other. And so what ends up happening is we go, a little bit further down the stream, and people pull us out because I guess the police stopped the rest of my family from getting in because the water levels were too high. So there was like a tsunami like coming down. Like it was actually dangerous to be canoeing during that time because the water levels were too high. That's why the log was underwater. And so it was actually super dangerous to go canoeing at that point. So it's kind of funny thinking about it now. So they put us in for a takeoff, and like obviously my grandparents and my uncles, like like that's our group, but they wouldn't let them go in because of the water levels. So that's the first canoeing story. So like that was my last time canoeing. This time canoeing.
So this one's gonna be great.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be great. And so this time canoeing, it wasn't as bad. And so we get in, and this time we have the 5 canoes, and then there's kayaks too. So there's even more people.
Yeah.
And I think this was our second day, and these canoeing trips are like 6 hours long. Like we are like some intense
they're all
canoers.
day. Absolutely.
Yeah. And so I think one of my cousins spots a rope swing, and I take a look at it, and the the logical mind I am. I stick my paddle in the water and it doesn't even go halfway down, and it's basically shallow. The water's shallow.
Sure.
And so, but my one of my cousins disagrees, and they say, no, it's not shallow. It's not shallow. And so we we go over to the rope swing, and I'm kind of watching them. He ends up jumping off or whatever, proving me wrong.
Well, we lost Trey mid-story as well. So there is that. And yeah, for now, we're just going to chill until he gets back. He'll be back on in just a second, I presume. But yeah, pretty much, I feel like with every kayaking canoe story, they either go really great and it was like the best time of your life, or it's just like it was the worst time of your life. There's not really a middle of the road on it. There's like that's just how kayaking and canoeing is. Um, let's give old Trey a call here. Let's see if we lost him. We get listening on this.
Yo, I'm coming back.
You coming back? We're still live on here. You're on the phone right now. I got it up to the mic. You want to say anything to everybody?
Hold on. Sorry, guys. My computer died.
Your computer died.
All right. Why is the worst technology difficulties of anybody?
I know, right? It's always this stuff.
It's always something.
It's got to be though. Why would it go smooth?
All right, I'm literally coming back on right now.
Okay, sounds good. We'll see you in a second. Jesus. Oh man, that right there is exactly why you plug in your computer. That's why you do it. I have class in 9 minutes. I just realized that. Oh my gosh. Oh, but for those of you who don't know, the reason why I'm not going to class, I currently have COVID, so me and Nikki are on the old quarantine lockdown currently. So we're just chilling around the house, watching movies, watching Netflix series, pretty much whatever we can do to get by to pass the time is pretty much what we've been doing. We got Ocean just chilling at the house right now. I've been playing a lot of Fortnite. Got the new Kenobi skin, which speaking of the new Kenobi series came out, and been watching that. Let's see, we got Trey back here.
Wow. Okay,
There we go.
So
you saved him. I was about to start talking about Star Wars.
Oh gosh.
Saved him.
Yeah, I did save you guys. Anyway, back on here. Anyway, so he jumps off on the rope swing and everything seems fine. And we go down a set of rapids that was right after this rope swing. And all of a sudden, there's a tree and half of it falls over into the water. And so like these heavy branches, and I'm not talking about like there was wind or anything else. Can you hear me, Wyatt?
I can, yes, sir.
Good. Oh, you can?
No,
okay.
You're good. You're good. I have class in 7 minutes, and I'm just trying to get the Zoom link and everything on my phone. You're good. I was listening.
Okay.
I was on my phone
awesome.
for a second.
No, I was just making sure my mic's fine. But yeah, and so like half the tree falls over, and so like if we hadn't stopped at that like rope swing and argued about that rope swing, I say potentially, but if anybody was under that tree, we would have died. So it's actually kind of interesting that
a tree fell down and like you guys would have been under it.
Yeah, we would have been under it. Yeah, it was just a dead tree. So it's one of those things. Like there was nothing that hit it, no wind, nothing. It just fell over. It was its time. So yeah,
dude, there's so many just like wild case scenarios like that. Like just that's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
Right place at the right time. You
Right
guys
place
100%
at the right
were.
time. Exactly. So,
jeez.
But yeah, no, that's my canoeing
well, I'm glad
stories.
you guys are safe. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I was telling them once you went off, I feel like canoeing and kayaking both. I feel like those stories, those experiences, they go one of two ways. You either had the best time of your life and it was like awesome and incredible, or you have the worst time of your life. I have some kayaking stories that like I love, and I would do anything to go back and relive those moments and be in the kayak again out and in the mangroves and the keys and stuff like that. And then I have other stories where I was kayaking in Blue River and I couldn't get it was too shallow. So I couldn't get the kayak to float. Blue River, yeah, and you can't get the kayak to float. It's too shallow at times. So is that and then those days are terrible.
Yeah.
Those days are terrible. They are so bad. They're horrible. So kayaking and canoe stories either go incredibly or they're just tough. They're just rough on you. So another episode of On the Court in the Booth down. We said we were shortening the episodes, but today we just had some great content. We had 4 topics today, and we went for an hour and 5 minutes. That's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to split it in half and make a part 1, part 2 type thing, and just post both of them as part 1, part 2.
Okay. Yeah.
Who cares?
You like doesn't matter to us. We can just split our content in half. We have 10 hours. We have 10 hours of content. Like we can keep posting it. So
exactly.
That's right.
I'm also going to start posting more clips. So if you guys like those clips on the show, just let us know and we'll post it as always.
That's right. Give us merch ideas. Wyatt has to get to class, so we're going to be heading off.
I have got. I don't know if you can see it here. You see the time, 8:55. I have class at 9. And like I said, I have COVID right now, so I'm not going into class. I have Zoom, so at least I don't have to drive there. If I had to drive there, I'd be screwed right now. But I'm all good for right now. But yeah, the newest edition of On the Court in the Booth in the books. It was a great episode. Absolutely great. It's one of our best episodes. I loved this episode.
Yeah, I mean,
great. This one was a lot of fun. This one was a lot of fun. So with that being said, I think the next time we get back on here, you'll probably be up in West Lafayette again. So yeah. Best of luck up there, buddy. Obviously, we'll talk before then, but just, keeping everybody updated. But yeah, that's about it. And with that being said, we're going to head out. You guys have a great week. We appreciate you guys for watching, listening, and everything, and consuming our content, taking time out of your day for that. So with that being said, we're going to send it to the outro, and you guys have a great day. Be safe. Have a great weekend.
Yep. Well, Wyatt said.